County Housing Authority.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great, 4% is really good.
And she's been paying more and more each year, the tenant.
Yeah.
A bigger portion each year.
Exactly.
Where they go around.
Yeah. You know, $20 doesn't sound like much, but you got 100, 200, 300 units, $20, you know, that adds up real fast, $6 grand a month all day long, you know? Yeah.
Can you get the inspection prior to finding a tenant, or you have to find the tenant first?
First you find the tenant. Yeah, then it's the caseworker send out the inspector of housing authority. Yeah. Any other questions? Got that part now. So again, the HAP contract, like I mentioned, it protects the landlord and the tenant. You want to use that to your advantage. So many times I've seen landlords in court, she didn't pay me her portion. I'm like, what are you doing here? If you read the HAP contract, you could have easily manipulated her mentally to pay you. You know what I mean? So again, what you want to do is you want to be an attorney. So what you want to do, any bad tenant that you have on Section 8, like I mentioned, you want to send cease and desist letters, okay? Notices to quit. I send text messages, emails, certified mail, regular mail. So when I go to, if I ever go in front of a judge, I have all the proof with me, okay? So you want to make, you know, you want to keep all those notices. And then do certified return receipt also, because that's also proof that it was sent out to them. And 90% of the time, they're not going to sign for it. It's going to come back, and then, yeah.
How many cease letters do you usually send?
For late payments?
If you go into court, what do you think the judge?
3.
Usually 2, 3?
Yeah, 2 to 3, and then a notice to quit. But I would say probably almost never. I've done it before. I mean, actually evicted a Section 8 tenant. Everybody just moved out. Yeah.
I've done it a couple of times, not too many. I
Yeah.
have good experience as well, but it's only one cease letter. One cease to quit, or one cease and one's to quit. And then if they don't quit, then you know you file a holdover eviction.
Okay. Yeah. In Essex County, they like to see at least 2 cease and then a notice.
The judge.
In Essex County, yeah. It all depends on the judge. You could be. I've been in Bergen County, and you know Judge Rosa, he's like, I don't care if your mother got AIDS, got hit by a bus. If you don't have your rent by 4:30 today, you're out of here. And then Judge Steele's like, okay, we'll work with you, and you can stay. I'm like, no, she can't. Get the hell out. So yeah, you know, depends on the judge. Yeah.
What's been your best marketing to fill the units quick?
We have huge yellow signs on all our properties. Tired of your slumlord, good landlord for good tenants. That's basically what we have on all our properties, and they work. You know, and I get people think we're a law firm. No, we're not a law firm. We have apartments for rent. My landlord sucks. What's your phone number? All right, give me a call back. You're Section 8, I'll take it. Yeah.
Is the sign on each of your properties?
All the properties have it, yeah.
The same sign?
Same sign, yeah.
Same phone number?
Same phone number, yeah. And it works well when the when the inspector comes, it's like, oh, okay, this is a, yeah, exactly. Anybody else?
Who's taking those calls?
Which calls? My super.
Super.
Yeah. He does all, have one full-time guy who just shows apartments.
Hey Mel,
Yeah.
can I ask, how big's your team?
I have four supervisors for the construction company, and I have one full-time agent or super that does all my management of the apartments and showing the apartments and stuff like that. Yeah.
That guy read my mind.
Oh, okay.
What's been the key to property management for anybody who wants to do the property management in-house?
You just need thick skin, man. Really thick skin. You know, you dealing with the headaches. When you first start off, it really sucks. Because when you own 1 building, 2 buildings, 3 buildings, like, ugh, I gotta go do all this stuff, you know what I mean? When you get to 30, 40, 50 buildings, then you're like, okay, you just hire somebody to do it for you. So the beginning always sucks. You know, I used to go change toilets. I used to paint apartments. I was a lot thinner back then, so it was actually beneficial.
What was your sweet spot from small?
When I got to like 60 units, 60 doors, yeah, 60 doors. Then I was like,
spread out amongst.
spread out, yeah, exactly. Then I feel like, okay, you know what's, higher. And then actually I started buying and flipping properties. And again, when you buy and flip, you deal with contractors, all that stuff. I'm like, this is a nightmare. So I just got my own contractor's license and just hired a full-time team to even do our flips and stuff, yeah.
How much you pay for the management per unit?
The manager gets paid $400 a week, plus he gets a month for every apartment he rents out. The guy makes like 100 grand a year. I think I pay him too much. Huh? $400 a week, plus he gets a month's rent for every apartment he rents. So sometimes that's 2, 3, 4 apartments a month.
Wow.
Yep.
How did you scale up from, let's say, a handful of properties to 10, 15 properties? Did you flip properties to finance the?
No, I actually started with multifamilies. When I was in Jersey City, they were so cheap. So I would just buy them. I bought one FHA, my brother bought FHA, my sister bought one FHA, and we kind of like grouped together, saved our money, just bought more properties. And actually, I didn't get into I didn't know private money and hard money even existed till like 2005, 2006. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't know people do this. I was like, great, I'm old school Italian. If you borrow money, don't pay it back, you get whacked. So my parents were like, don't fucking borrow money, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to borrow this money, I don't fucking pay it back, I'm gonna get killed. But then I discovered hard money, and we actually leveraged our cash with the hard money. And that's how we kind of even scaled even further. So we were probably doing like 2 or 3 buildings at a time, and then we ended up doing like 10 or 15 apartment buildings at a time. So.
Are you financing or at least cashing out of these purchases?
Yeah, what we do is basically we'll buy a distressed asset, make it a performing asset, and then cash out refinance. And we use Columbia Bank for literally almost all our deals. Yeah.
Are all your units small units, like residential?
Our largest is 12 units, and we're actually under contract now. We're buying a mobile home park in California, and that's a 51 lot mobile home park. Again, when I'm trying to get back, I like the mobile home parks because you kind of have like different strategies there. You can rent the land, you can rent the home, you can hold a mortgage and a note, so it's kind of like your own little city, so which works out. So there's multiple revenue streams with that. Yeah.
Is this your first property out of state?
First property out of state, yeah. So, of course, I find it on the side of the country like an idiot. But, so basically, huh?
When you get done with that, we'll dive into that a little bit.
Okay, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I hate flying. I'm like Xanax stuff, like 6 Xanax for a 6-hour flight. Like Mr. T. Monthly inspections, I send, we have an exterminator that goes out every month. He sucks, completely sucks. But he sends a report every single month. That's all I really care about. So he'll send pictures, he'll send me notices of which tenants, keep a dirty apartment, and then we'll send the pictures and the cease letter to clean up, because obviously they're causing an issue for other tenants in the building. So he does that for us. I don't care.
No? Is that just a contract?
Huh?
Is that just a contract with the exterminator?
Yeah, he charges me like $12 per door or something.
If he can get it, he gets it. If not,
He has a master key. Yep, he has a master key. Yeah.
So you can send a cease notice for keeping unclean apartments?
Yeah. 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 The lady had like pizza under her bed. I took a picture. I'm like, you need to clean this up. And I sent that to their caseworker too. So, the yearly inspections and yearly increases you want to do. That's pretty much it. Your leases you have, prior to your slumlord. And I'm always in constant communication with the tenants. None of them even met me. And I'm always text messaging with them or contact them sometimes if there's any issues. And I always call them Mr. and Mrs. You want to show respect. And it's psychological, really. Okay, how you doing, Deborah? How you doing, Mrs. Reynolds? 2 different worlds when it comes to respect. Okay. And that's about it, man. Anybody have any questions? Yeah.
So, what do you jumped into mobile home out there, but how are you using it now today? Are you still finding deals? You're kind of waiting for the market to cool off, and what do you?
I'm not finding as many deals as I used to, but we find very few deals. I would say probably instead of like 10 or 15 at a time, I might be doing 1 or 2 at a time.
Walk us through give us maybe like numbers on the last one so people can.
The last one I got, we're working on it now. I bought a 3-family in Newark. It's was a 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom. We're converting it to a 4-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom. I got that for $130,000. We're putting in about $70,000 into it, and it'll be worth about $375,000 after we're done. So we'll cash out, refinance, recoup all our money. And a 4-bedroom, I'll get 18, 18, and 15. So the cash flow will be like $2,000 a month on that 1 unit.
What's your strategy for finding deals, deal flow?
I hand everybody a $10,000 check at the closing table. That's my finder's fee. Yeah, so basically wholesalers, agents, REO agents, a lot of direct marketing that we do on our own. But everywhere now it's just so competitive, man. It's just like, it's crazy. It's out of control. Yeah.
What kind of financing are you putting on these properties through Columbia Bank? What kind of terms? And
It's a 5-year ARM, 5-year renewal, and 4.875. Yeah. And then I'll tell people all the time, don't over leverage. I don't, me personally, I don't over leverage the property, so I just kind of just cash out what I put into it. I see people that just keep borrowing against it, and, you know, we got the 5-year ARMs or whatever, those come to adjust, and, you know, those cash flows aren't cash flows anymore, you know? Yep.
When do you max out on the rent rate? You said you have people that stay for 22 years, you don't do a rent rate.
We do a rental increase every year on those tenants.
Okay.
Yeah, people that have been with us for so long, they're still, you know, some are below market rent. But there's nothing I can do about it, you know, unless they leave or whatever the case may be, you know?
So you just keep raising.
Every year I increase it. I can't wait till November. That's when I send out my increases. Merry Christmas.
When you purchase these, I'm assuming you use an LLC or something similar?
They're all LLCs, yeah.
They're all separate LLCs?
All separate LLCs.
Every single one?
Every single one.
Whether it's 80 grand or 500 grand, it's separate LLC?
Yep.
And then when you get the loan with the bank, it's under an LLC as well?
Yeah.
And I guess, is there a master LLC as far as qualifying?
Well, I have a corporation. I have a C corporation. My partner has an S corporation. And our corporations own all the LLCs 50-50.
So when it's time for the loan?
Corporation signs. Okay.
So in Newark,
Yeah.
tenant leaves, you do some capital improvements. Are you still capped on how much you can raise the rent?
No, then it's market rent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I have a construction company. If they ask, I can send them receipts
So
of all the
no
repairs we
additional-
did.
No additional restrictions with
No.
Section 8?
If they move out, and then, we mean like another Section 8 tenant moves in?
Yeah, like
No.
make it, fix it up, and another Section 8.
I've had Section 8 tenants who are paying, you know, they've been there for a while, they're paying $1,100, and then we go in, we do capital improvements in the unit, and then we get tenant, like, you know, a month later, 2 months later, $1,400-$1,500. Yep. So,
You have your rehab standardized, where you're just basically rolling each rehab, same
Yeah,
thing,
same thing,
with
same
some
thing.
keys to efficient, good units here. What are you using there, like tenant-proofing units?
really like vinyl flooring, the waterproof vinyl flooring we use. What else is there? Really, you know, I tell my guys, whenever you do threading on the toilet, bolt it down, the threads on the neck, all the screws, put the lock tight, because they're gonna get so many complaints for a loose doorknob, like little stupid things like that. But really, it's kind of like your vinyl floors, your granite. I put granite in the apartments because it's just more durable that way. Basic stove, nothing crazy. Spackle paint, nothing crazy, to tell you the truth. You know, and then we also do the solid core doors. So we use the flat solid core doors instead of the hollow ones, because the hollow ones, the little kids will just destroy them. A little, you know, nothing crazy. You know, I'm just so used to it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, I guess.
But it's key though, just doing the same thing, right? You don't think about it, same thing.
Yeah, same thing over and over again. Yeah, I'm not gonna go in there and, you know, if I'm buying an apartment with, you know, living room and dining room, I'll convert the living room into a bedroom and make it an extra bedroom, so you're gonna get more money that way, voucher-wise, you know, so. Yeah.
After the capital improvement, right? So how do you deal with the rental control office when you raise the rent like over the control limit?
Well, in Newark, if someone's occupying the unit, then whenever you do an increase, it's that percentage. When it's vacant, you could just bring it to market rent. That's all. And then if they ask anything later on, if someone reports you to housing or whatever, this lease started this date and that one expired this date. That's all it really is, and show them the capital improvements. It's not like New York, where a 1-bedroom is this amount, and then you have to show them it's totally different. All the rent control in Newark is simply for the people living there now, for the following year for their increase. That's all that is.
But when you change the tenant, then there's no.
No, this is just market rent if you do capital improvements to your apartment. Yeah.
No, I respectfully disagree. Newark does not have vacancy control. I would double check that. I've read the ordinance.
Oh, really? I've been doing it for.
When Ross Baraka came into office, the rent control laws changed dramatically.
Okay.
So the old rent control laws allowed you to do that.
Okay.
But under Ross Baraka, they don't. So, double check.
I'll double check that. Yeah, because I've been doing it for even with him in office.
I'm sure, I know.
Yeah. So I know he mentioned something about issuing, because I know that even prior to that, they didn't do COs for new tenants when they moved in. Now they want new
There's actually
COs.
been a lot of lawsuits from property owners in New Jersey against Newark because of the rent control laws. Like I'm a member of the New Jersey Property Owners Association.
Okay.
A lot of the larger landlords live in actually sued the city
Really?
because of like exactly what you're doing, going and fixing up, and they can't even get capital improvements factored into it.
Really?
So, yes, please do your research.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm just saying it out of protection, just review
Yeah.
because.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate it, yeah. Yeah, I'm going old school, man. I'm back to the book, Sharp James days, you know? Anybody else?
I've tried to increase the bedrooms and the units before,
Mhm.
and I've always gotten kicked back with zoning because it's increasing density, then you have to show parking,
Mhm.
like if there's off-street parking. The cities that you're operating in, Jersey City, Newark, they don't care about any of that stuff?
People are recording here, so I'll tell you on the side how that works.
Say no more.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, so how's your flipping business doing compared to
We got 2 properties we just purchased today. So it depends, it really depends on the deals you can find. I just got one in Paramus, Bergen County. We got it for $525. I'll put 100 into it, and I'll sell it for $799. Another one in West Orange, we got a 3-family. We just signed today for $220. I'll sell it for $450. I'll put maybe 80 grand into it. So it depends on the deals, you know what I mean? I don't like to flip unless I make minimum $60,000, $70,000. I see people flipping for $20,000, $30,000. Just go drive an Uber if I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Hard money, yeah. I mean, we'll leverage our cash with the hard money for that, yeah.
How do you decide what you're gonna flip and what you're gonna keep as a
Really, I like to, you know, if per property, I like the cash flow minimum $1,500 to $1,600 per month. But in today's market, you know, if I'm gonna make 200 grand on a flip, I'll take the 200 grand, yeah. And by the time I collect 200 grand or $1,600 a month, I have a lot more gray hair. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you know which areas you want to be?
I have a niche. I'm in Newark, I'm in Jersey City. I know the markets that I work. So people will tell me like, Mel, why don't you go to East Orange? I don't know shit about East Orange. It's right next to Newark. So I kind of just stick to the markets that I know. You know, so that's really it. I don't try to expand and learn the hard way. I flipped 2 houses in Westfield. I don't know anything about Westfield. The appraiser came in on the ARV. Oh, $1 million. Then I found out after I put it in the market, I'm on the south side of town, and nothing sold for $1 million, and I lost almost 80 grand on a flip. You know, so I learned the hard way. You know, so I think I learned more now. What I do is if I'm going to flip something in a town I don't know, I just go to like, you know, the Westfield to Cranford Facebook page, and I'll get a real answer from the people that live in town. Then a local realtor is going to be like, oh, I can't disclose that. Yeah, so, yeah.
If you were going to lose money on a flip moving forward, would you ever consider renting it out until maybe the market turned back and you could sell it for a higher
Not a
price?
single family, no. You know, if it's like an $800,000, $900,000 flip, cut your losses, call it a day.
Besides the big yellow sign you've got up for your property, is there anything special about finding Section 8 tenants? You know, in particular?
Now, at my point stage in the game, it's a lot of referrals. You know, I'll just send an email out to my tenants, and probably like 10 seconds later, I'll have, you know, the apartment filled. You know, so.
Do you do a referral program to the tenants?
No.
Section 8 is a referral.
They're just happy they got a good landlord. Yeah.
Will the Section 8 cover utilities and all that?
No, they don't. They don't cover utilities, but if you are in Section 8, every city, like Jersey City, has the PACO program. Newark has Casa de Don Pedro. They have different programs that are available. So my tenants that move into my apartments, I tell them about all these programs: free furniture, free utilities, and they love it. You know, I need to get on that program.
In some states, they enroll, you can put utilities in, it just depends on where you are.
Yeah.
So here, you're going to check where you are.
For example, if you buy, you know, if you have a 3-family property and it has 1 heating system, you're going to get more for that unit as a landlord, and then you include the heat, but they don't pay it for the tenants if it's separated. Yeah.
Where do you go to find out about the different programs that are out there?
You just learn from other landlords and stuff like that. You can probably just Google it or something. Anything, other tenants will probably tell you. You know, if you want to go on disability, I know a tenant that'll tell you which doctor to go to.
Do you take tenants on TRA?
No. No. Because I tell TRA, because TRA doesn't guarantee you 12 months, and my lease is a 12-month term. So that's the way you can get out of that one.
What's TRA?
Temporary rental assistance.
I'm just wondering how, I just acquired a house, has an 85-year-old guy in it. He's getting minuscule money. His deadbeat son's been living with him, not working. I got it through sheriff's sale, and I'm kind of going through the process, but I'm wondering what you would, maybe how you would handle this. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's dragging his feet, lying, obviously.
Is he paying?
No. So.
You can just evict for non-payment.
Just go straight,
Yeah,
attorney eviction,
Yeah,
done.
just evict for non-payment. I bought a building at 2 bars on the first floor and 4 apartments. And there was a homeless guy living in the bar. And then I find out he's a homeless vet. So we renovated the entire building and I gave him an apartment for free. And he's just living there, just keep an eye on the building. I was like, I can't kick a vet out, you know what I mean? So he just stays there, but, you know, depending on your financial situation, you can do that if not, you know, so. Anybody else? Yeah?
For those multi-units, do you charge tenants for water bill or?
No, the landlord pays the water, yeah. And, you know, in Essex County, Hudson County, it's a lienable utility. But in Hackensack, we have buildings there, and everyone has their own water meter, so the tenants pay their own water in those units. But you don't pay your bills in Newark or Jersey City, they'll put a lien on the property.
What are the problems of Section 8? Because some of the multifamily, a lot of people don't want to buy if there are Section 8 tenants. Like, what are the problems? Like, what kind of issues that you face? Like, you have majority of Section 8. What are the problems that you deal with?
I don't know, I kind of worked out all the issues. I think the only issue is if, you know, as a landlord, if you don't abate the issues with the repairs, that's an issue there. If you take over a building and the tenant wasn't screened properly, they can become an issue. And I think maybe the only other real issue I would have sometimes is like, you know, if their son or daughter just came out of jail and then they moved into the building with them and causing trouble, whatever the case may be. But then again, back to the cease and desist letters, and, you know, take care of the caseworkers. They're not supposed to be living there in the first place, you know. But you know, I've been doing it for so long, and I screen the tenants so good. I really don't have any issues, you know. Yeah.
Do you have a preferred service for screening the tenants?
What's that?
Do you have a preferred service?
We use AppFolio for our entire platform. So they just go into our website, they fill out the application, and then we get a report kicked back. Shows about their credit, prior criminal background, and all that stuff. So.
You charge them a fee?
$50.
And sometimes they'll have...
If they're Section 8, I'll send an Uber, red carpet. Our horns are at the front door when they show up. So if I know, you know, they're Section 8 tenants, I'm like, we'll waive the fee, we'll take care of that, or whatever the case may be. But if they're paying out of pocket, they can't afford $50, you know, moving to my apartment. Yeah. Anybody else?
Any resources you like for how to figure out market rent when you're turning over an apartment?
I'm sorry, what is that?
Any resources you like when you're turning over an apartment to figure out what market rent is?
I just know, I've been in the markets for so long, I just know. And then what I do is like, I'll just shoot for the stars and then see what, you know, where HAP comes back at, really, you know. If they're paying out of pocket, it's gonna be a far less. So, like I said, you wanna advertise the units, 3-bedroom, $1,200 to $1,600 per month. So that way you kind of get a little bit of everybody. Yeah.
So, if we're talking about Section 8, so do you have people who pay cash, and what would be the ratio of people who pay cash to Section 8?
I would say 10% of my tenants pay cash. 90% are Section 8. Yeah.
Are you able to screen the tenants in the same manner that they can?
Screen the tenant, yeah, they do the same background check, same everything. If they work, I check their income, W-2s, pay stubs, and stuff like that. So the process is exactly the same.
So then you wouldn't rent to like someone who's like an undocumented worker or anything like that?
I rent to them also. If they can show me proof of income, you know, I can verify whatever the case may be. Yeah.
In Jersey City and Newark, do you find rental control like filing?
What is that?
In Jersey City and Newark, do you find rental control? I mean, rental control fine, registration.
Yeah, we register the buildings with rent control.
So do you do the registration? Like they require like every year you need to.
Every year you have to register the building.
Same in Jersey City.
Excuse me?
Same case in Jersey City.
In Jersey City also, yes. But it's funny because I don't. Maybe you can answer this for me. Because I sold 2 properties in Jersey City. It was 2 4-families. Tenants were paying like $1,100-1,200. The new owners kicked everybody out. And they were all paying their rent. And they all got kicked out in court. And now he's renting it for $1,800-1,900 per unit.
Well, Jersey City is rent control is 5 units and up, so if it's 4 units, then they can.
Oh, is that what, okay, that's what it was then, okay. All right, I was like, what the hell, I was like, that's crazy, I would've kept the buildings over than that. Because I registered those buildings with rent control in Jersey City, nobody said anything to me.
Now you know.
Yeah, I don't care, I bought it for $1.8, I sold them for $500,000, but, yeah.
Where do you advertise?
Excuse me?
Where do you advertise?
Well, I used to advertise in the local papers, but then I realized these people don't pick up the paper. So when I first started, what I do is I get like 4 rent signs, and then a plastic sleeve, and I put like a hot pink paper in there, 3-bedroom, and I wrap it around telephone poles by churches and supermarkets on the weekends, and that's how I really got a lot of tenants. Yeah. Because I would do like $200 ads in the Jersey Journal, and nobody would call me. You know, so then I realized like they don't read.
So I rent to Section 8 tenants too, and one of the things that I do, which a lot of people don't, you could actually go to the Section 8 office. So for example, in Newark, it's on 500 Broad, and you could actually leave one of your articles, like I put pictures of my apartments with a brief description and leave it there, and you get tons of
Yeah, you can do that.
right there.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
I was gonna ask you, did you get to know the caseworkers and the staff at the Section 8 office? Does that work?
Not a person, mostly through email for the most part, but not personally. Yeah. If I go down there, it might be maybe once every 5 years, you know, for something. But yeah.
I've had a lot of luck with Craigslist and Zillow for rental.
Craigslist and Zillow, yeah.
Zillow, I think, is a better person. But,
Okay.
but Craigslist is just tons of leads.
We can try to go section8.com.
Section8.com, yeah.
Go section.
Go Section. Yeah, someone mentioned that to me a while ago. I tried it, but
Yeah,
that was
we
probably
got
4 or 5 years ago. Anybody else? Yeah.
Anybody else on Section 8, or can we jump into mobile home parking markets? No? All right, so we'll jump in. So, how come you chose the market in California, wherever you go?
My partner lives out in that area. He's about 2 hours away. We did our analysis through bestplaces.com and Census, and we just noticed that the demand out there is tremendous. So the median household, median home prices are about 120, 130,000. The income was good. The job growth was good. So we're like, all right, let's take a look. And the guy bought it for $1.9 million. Had no clue how to manage it. Had no clue what he's doing. And we're getting it for $1 million. And there's huge upside potential there. There's probably, I think it's 51 lots and some apartment buildings, a total of 51 units, and I believe only 31 are occupied right now.
Is there homes on the other pads, or are they vacant pads?
No, there's homes on the other pads. So there's probably 5 or 6 vacant pads,
Nice.
and the other ones have homes. So we're trying to find out where the titles are and stuff like that. So it's a process we have to go through. But what we found out was in California right now, they have like for $250, you can retrieve those titles through motor vehicles or whatever the case may be. So we'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Now with the vacant pads, is the plan to bring in new homes, or what's the plan for those vacant pads?
Basically, bring in refurbished homes. We can buy and fix them and sell them. Our goal was, we talked to some real estate agents, and we can sell like a single wide 35, like between $32,000 and $38,000. We can buy one for $7,000, $8,000, put in $7,000, $8,000, and then turn around and flip the home that way. So we'll probably take like a $5,000, $2,000 deposit and hold a mortgage, a note on that unit. So, different revenue streams with the mobile home parks, which is great. Yeah.
And for the existing homes that are there, are they current owners, or are they? So do you own any of the homes, I guess, or is the point that you just?
Most of the ones that are occupied now are lot rents,
Lot
and they're paying, I believe, $575, which is great for that market area. And the cheapest apartment is $1,200-1,300.
Wow.
So they're getting a bargain.
Lot rent means they own the trailer.
They own the trailer. Yeah, they own the trailer. We just rent out the land. Yeah.
Awesome.
So what was the mindset that took you into California out of your comfort zone?
My partner moved out there. He was living in New York, and then he moved out to California. And he was like, all right, let's go down to South Carolina. They had like some kind of mobile home thing. I was like, all right, let's take a look. And then he was searching, we found one, so it worked out well, So he's nearby, which I feel comfortable we can manage from that being too far. But on the same token, we oversee the construction from a distance. We gotta work those logistics out, so,
Sure.
you
Is it public water or septic?
all public.
All public
Yeah,
water.
that's one of our things on our punch list, public water, sewer, makes it much easier that way.
Sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned before that you started off as like a family working together on this.
Yeah.
right? And you mentioned a partner now, so how did you go from like a family business to having?
Because
Where'd you find a
families
business
drove me
partner?
nuts.
How did you-
Yeah.
So were you actively looking for a partner, or was it somebody you grew
Yeah,
up
actually
with?
what happened was, we were trying to raise some capital, so I did mailers to friends and family, so we had a meeting, 2, 3 people showed up, and then my partner showed up, he invested, with money, and then was like, all right, listen, I'm looking to scale this to a much bigger thing, and my brother was kind of like, oh, I'm kind of comfortable the way we are, whatever the case may be. I was like, all right, well, you do your thing, I'll do my thing, and then we just scaled it from there, so.
In terms of your partnership, I mean, you started off where he was just providing capital?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now he's more active?
He's more active, exactly. So now we're just 50-50 partners in all the apartments that we purchase. So he kind of does he's like a CFO. He oversees all the financials and stuff like that. And I see over the construction management and stuff on that end. Yeah. Works out well. Where before it was just me doing everything.
Yeah, so I guess you kind of answer that. So for the mobile home park, just a joint venture?
Yes.
You didn't syndicate that, right?
Was that?
No, didn't syndicate that, right?
No, we didn't syndicate that. No, we actually sold, we're selling a property in Newark that we both bought a 6-unit, my partner and I, that are buying a mobile home park. We paid $320. 18 months ago, we sold it for $700. So we're doing a 1031 exchange.
What was, so is there any financing on it? What kind?
The owner's fine. Well, there's 2 hard money lenders on that property now, so we're just going to take over the terms. And then the owner is holding a $150,000 mortgage, but we don't make payments out to him for 2 years. So then, by then, we'll probably, make it a performing asset, cash out, refinance everybody, and you got paid back. Yeah.
How'd you find the owner? What was the story? The owner just taking it down, but was the owner local or?
It was through a broker. Broker had it, and he's like, this guy just wanted to invest in real estate, had no clue what he's doing. He paid $1.9 million, kind of ran it into the ground. We actually, we got all the statements and everything, and literally today he's dumping 10 grand a month into the account just to keep it afloat, So he just wants to get rid of it at this point. He's just bleeding money.
Let's talk about broker. How'd you find the broker?
I have no clue. My partner did. Yeah, he was just, I guess, looking on different websites. Actually, this was on the MLS, he said.
Yeah, I'm asking these questions. A lot of people are trying to understand, like, how do you find a broker, right? How do you have that first talk with the broker? How do you make that connection out there?
Yeah, this was actually on the regular MLS out there, he said, which is unusual, because usually it would be like on a commercial website. So that's actually how we found this one, yeah. So maybe the broker kind of screwed up on that one.
Yeah, it's good for you though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the key though, is you can look, if you find some of these deals that are just, people don't pay attention, because a resident broker has a buddy who's like, there's actually a kid who comes here, he's buying a deal where people put it up, it was a 56-year, he's buying here in New Jersey, and they had it up literally on the MLS because the guy was a residential broker, and the owner was a buddy of his, and he said, would you just list it for it? The guy said, well, I don't know if I'm the right guy, but I'll do my best. And just put it out there. If he doesn't